Oh, hello, Fedor. Where are we going for fishing this year?
Well, CEAZOR, I thought we got to my hometown in Russia.
Russia? Where?
Well, you know me. I'm coming from Siberia.
Siberia? I heard that place is super dangerous.
No. The water is very nice there this time of year.
But what about the bears? I heard there's bears.
No. The bears are very slow. They don't have any gas. We can outrun them.
Hello and welcome to CEAZOR Snack Sandwich. Today we're on Ethereum taking a look at Yearn Finance's yvVault. I've been meaning to do this for a while. I hold quite a few a fair sized position in this vault, and I like it. Now I'm going to walk through all of these strategies and show you what they're doing and kind of give you a quick explanation of all of these strategies today with one of my flowcharts. So without any more explanation or further ado, let's go over there and take a look at it. Okay, so here we are. Today I'm going to use this bear to represent the yETH Now remember that there's two vaults. There's one yETH and yvETH, but generally they are the same thing. Actually, the yETH just wraps and puts it into the other vault. So they are the same thing. They just have two ways in depending on what you have in your wallet, either ETH or yETH. So he's the bear, and he's the one who will take care of your ETH for you and try to make some yield. So remember, he's a version 2 vault, so he can send his funds to many different strategies and try to make yield from many different places. Now, he's a very big fat bear. There's a lot of ETH inside him, and he needs to send money to all sorts of places to try to get some income. It's pretty hard to find straight ETH places to make income, but they're doing a pretty good job. So let's go through the strategies and find out which ones that they are using. Okay, so let's start with the first one. The first one is a general lender. Basically, they will send the ETH to one of these lending platforms. Currently, they're sending it to Alpha Homore, but they would change it to any of these other lending platforms if the yield were better on those platforms at that time. Okay. The second strategy is pretty straightforward. It's a single-sided curve, so they just put the ETH into the ETH and synthetic ETH, SETH curve pool, and gets back this curve token. So this is an curve token. It represents the position that they have inside this liquidity pool. So this is gaining trading fees, and it allows him to gain CRV tokens, but he doesn't want to do all that work for himself. So he's going to just send it into this other yvSETH vault. So this is another vault that takes this token. So if you have this token, you can just go straight into this vault. But if you have ETH, you can give it to him and he will build this and put it into this vault. Now what this vault is going to do is it's going to do the regular curve vault things where it harvests the CRV tokens and sells them for more of the underlying token, which is this. And later when he wants to get out, he can redeem this for all of the underlying tokens, the ETH, and take the ETH back. Now, remember that there's some boost and stuff there. If you don't know how this curve vault system works, I'll put a link to this video at the end of this one. Now, it's talking about version 1 vaults, but it's still the same strategy. It's just now they've migrated them all to version 2 vaults so that there's the possibility that this vault could use this token in another place, and there's upgraded security and so forth. So let's go back to the next strategy. The next strategy is very similar. It sends ETH to a different pool on Curve, the STETH. This is the Lindo ETH pool. So it's ETH versus the Lindo STETH. So I made a video on this as well. You can check my channel for that. So it gets back another CRV token. So it's another liquidity pool token. And again, he's a lazy bear. He doesn't want to harvest that himself. So he puts this into the other vault here. And this vault does the same thing as this. It harvests the curve, puts some curve in the back scratcher, sells the rest of the curve, and makes more of these tokens, which he gets, and then he can redeem for more of these underlying tokens later. Okay, so the next strategy is MakerDAO. So they just put the ETH in MakerDAO and mint up some DAI. Now, why would they want to do that? Well, because I want to give them DAI to Foxy here. Now, I made a video on this vault here. It's the yvWETH. Now, it's not completely up to date. There are some strategies that I didn't cover because when I made the video, they weren't in existence. But you can watch that. I'll link to it at the end of this video. So they send some ETH to MakerDAO. They mint the DAI. They give it to the fox. The fox makes money. Okay. So now they also send more ETH to the maker and mint more DAI again and send more DAI to him. So they sent two different ones. They sent to two different vaults on MakerDAO. So they have ETH A, they have ETH B, and ETH C, but they've decided to use ETH A and ETH C because of the parameters. So the DAI available, there's still quite a bit of available DAI for both of them that they could mint. Right, this one's getting a little bit lower. So the stability fee, this is basically the interest on the DAI, and this is the minimal collateral ratio. So they take these into account and they decide how much to send to each of these. And the ETH B is apparently unideal in the sense that they don't want to use that one. I can't remember what the stability fee is, but it was quite high. I think it was 10% or something. So anyhow, so they sent two versions. They sent some to ETH A and to ETH C. They mint a whole bunch of DAI and they give it all to the fox and let him use it to make money. Okay. The last strategy the bear is doing is he's sending his funds here to KeeperDAO. Now, sending the ETH to KeeperDAO, locking it inside. Now, what does KeeperDAO do with these ETH? It uses it for arbitrage and liquidations. I did a video on KeeperDAO, and I will link to that at the end of this video. And basically, they, as a result of sending ETH there, they gain some interest in ETH, as they also gain this Rook token, and they're basically selling the Rook at Uniswap or SushiSwap, whichever one is better. I think they're using SushiSwap most of the time. So they sell it at SushiSwap and get more ETH and stick it inside eventually. Now remember, every time that these strategies give back ETH to the bear cannot just immediately send it to them. They send it back in slowly to make sure things are safe and careful and so forth. So I hope this is helpful. I hope this is useful, and I found it to be interesting. And thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.